In this lesson, we're going to talk about congruence and congruent figures. So congruent figures have the same size and shape. And if two polygons are congruent, all of their corresponding sides and angles are congruent. So what we mean by correspondence is when two sets of objects match up together. All right, so in this little box down here, we talked about congruent triangles, and we have two triangles. We have triangle ABC and triangle DEF. And we say that ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. So the important thing here is this little symbol, the little equal sign with a little tilde above it. That's the congruence statement. All right. So what that also means is that the first letter of ABC, which is A, corresponds with D. So A corresponds with D, or A is congruent to D. B corresponds with E, or is congruent to E, and C corresponds with F, or is congruent to F. So those are the angles. All right, and then if we're talking about the sides, the corresponding sides, AB, the first two correspond with the first two of DEF, which is DE. So AB is congruent to DE, the last two. BC is congruent to EF. And then the first and last, AC, is congruent to DF. All right, so it wants us to write a congruence statement for the pair of triangles. So basically, we have to figure out what the corresponding parts are. Okay, so A is a right angle. So we're just going to go A, B, C. Remember that if we're talking about writing the name of a triangle, we have to use capital letters. Is congruent, or is congruent to. Okay, so A is a right angle, and Q is a right angle. So the first letter is Q. B, because B is the second, B is 35 degrees. R is 35 degrees. And C is 55 degrees. So P is 55 degrees. So, and I can use the little triangle symbol. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle QRP. That's the congruence statement. So if it asks you to write a congruence statement, that's what you have to do. You have to just match up the corresponding, the easiest way is match up the corresponding angles, okay? So here it says write a congruence statement for the pair of pentagons, okay? So we can look at it, and I usually go in alphabetical order. So it's D, E, F, G, and H, all right, is congruent to, okay, so D is 92 right here. D is 92. 92 is over here at M, okay? So that would be M, all right? So the second one is E. E is 88, okay? Right? E is 88, so N is 88. All right, so now that we know which way you're going, M and O, 130 and 130, so it's O. And then we have 95 is G, 95 is P, and then H is 135 and Q is 135. Okay, so pentagon DEFGH is congruent to pentagon MNOPQ. All right, so triangle ABC is congruent to triangle NLM. All right, so it says, what is the measure of angle Q? Well, angle Q is right here. All right, angle Q is associated with M. All right, so M, if I look over here in the congruence statement, that's what this is. So M is the very last letter. So the very last letter here is C. So what is the measure of C? Well, it would be 60 degrees. All right. All right. So, let me undo that. All right. So then for the next question says, what is the measure of angle P? Well, P is L. L is the middle one. So B is the middle one. So that's the corresponding angle. B is 95. So that's 95 degrees. And then angle R is N. N is the first one. Okay, N is the first one. A is the first one. So A is 25. So we use those corresponding angles to figure out the angle measure. All right. The next one says in the figure, quadrilateral VWXY is congruent to quadrilateral JKLM. All right. Find A. A is side WX. Okay, so WX is right here. That's the middle. All right. So that's same thing as KL. KL is 24. So we're going to say A plus 8 is equal to 24. And we're going to solve it by subtracting 8. 8's cancel out. A is equal to 24 minus 8, which is 16. All right. Then it says to find B. Well, B, where's B? Here's B. B is ML. Okay. So if I say ML, that is same thing as LM. That's the last two. So that's XY. XY is 30. So we have 6B is equal to 30. Solve it by dividing by 6. And B is equal to 5. And then the very last one says find C. All right. C is right here, angle J. J is the very first letter, okay? J is right here, okay? And that corresponds with V. J corresponds with V. And V is 85. So we have 5C is equal to 85. So to find C, we divide by 5. All right. And so C is equal to 85 divided by 5. So get a calculator. 85 divided by 5 is 17. All right. So value of C is 17. All right. So that does it for this lesson on congruence. Make sure that you write down all of your notes and make sure you ask any questions if you have any questions. Talk to y'all later.